Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All praise and double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who brought us this truth many, many years ago and still to this day, preaching us this truth. I want to say shalom to all the men and the women that's learning and teaching and seeking the Lord out with all sincerity and due diligence. Salakia. I want to say to you, Shalom. Just back with another lesson real quick. And as you can see right here, it says the truth about Christmas / origin. I found this video earlier this week, and as soon as I saw it, man, a few precepts came to my head. So it's just basically an 8-minute video about the truth about Christmas. I will tell you a lot of things here are graphic, but everything I do believe to be true. And even if you watch these Edomites expressions, the man, when he says some things, he kind of like he remembered it, he heard it before, so they know it's true as well. So you're gonna realize that Christmas and all these other holidays are set up to deceive us. So I'm gonna let the video play and stop it in between and have a couple precepts. So let's get going.
And you know why people celebrate Christmas. And so with that being said, each of you are okay. Well, I would kind of say I agree with you, but if you want to, you can flip through this notebook. And so what I've done is I went and researched some Christmas facts that I'll go over with you. And so this right here is a deity titled Krampus. Have you ever heard of Krampus?
No.
Okay, Krampus is a Germanic and European deity out of their folklores, as you can see right here. So I went and did the research for you. It's factual. I didn't Photoshop this. This is an actual festival that's celebrated in Europe and Germany. This is on December 25th, where the original Santa Claus, which was considered Satan, was a demonic deity which came and basically kidnapped children. And so as we go through this, we can do this very quickly. All right, this deity was based off of the Baphomet. As you can see here, it looks just like the Baphomet. Now, you can see in the original sack of this deity, instead of presents, it was children in there. And so what this deity would do around this time is come and steal the children. So like even we see that Christmas tree over there, cameraman, if you want to pan and get that Christmas tree. So even we see that Christmas tree over there, that's actually symbolic to a phallus. So you got the phallus here, the ribbons and the ornaments on the tree is supposed to symbolize male sperm, and then the balls on the tree are supposed to symbolize the testicles. So the sitting on Santa Claus' lap and asking Santa Claus for gifts and presents is actually a pedophilic ritual, which comes from a Roman ritual, a Roman celebration that was known as Saturnalia, where the rich Roman people would give gifts to the parents and kids so that they can basically have sex with their kids.
So you see that, man. You starting to hear, you be like, oh man, what the hell you at? But that's true though, man. Everything was set up to deceive you, to keep you away further from the Lord, man, too. And also, if you're hearing what he's saying it takes place in Europe, in Greek, and Rome over there, man. Idumea. It has nothing to do with the Israelites. It's not of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to go deeper, I'm kind of going off a little bit. That's also too. That's how you know the Lord not dealing with the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly the Roman Catholic world over there is totally different from what the hell we know. You get what I'm saying? Because this ain't what we know. This ain't what we celebrate. This ain't what we do, right? So this how you know the Lord is not dealing with no other nation but the Israelites. John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world. The Lord ain't praying for no people that came up with this shit, man. So them Edomites is done for. But let's get to the precept. First one is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 21 to 23. Verse 21, it says, and this was the occasion to deceive the world. For men serving either calamity or tranny did ascribe into stones and stocks the communicable name. You work at that word communicable is unspeakable name. So this world is set. So all this stuff was set up to deceive us, man. Old Saint Nick having these Christmas trees, having the Christmas lights and all the ornaments on the Christmas tree. It's all set up to deceive you and keep you away from the Lord, man. And to serve their customs, to give them more money and to serve them. And that's idol worship. You know what I mean? As you can see, serving either calamity or tranny. That's idol worship, man. Let's continue. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred the knowledge of power of Yahweh. But whereas they lived in great war of ignorance, those so were great plagues called thy peace. So they know the truth about the Lord, man. They know the truth about Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. But they came up with their own gods and they went off and they despised the word of the Lord. They didn't want to hear it. For which they slew the children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies and made revealings of strange rites. Ain't that's what he was talking about? For what they slew, they killed their own children. He said the rich people paid him off. You know what I'm saying? And took their children. You know what I'm saying? Which they did is they sold their children to these rich white people, still what people doing today, selling their kids off, letting people kidnap their kids and say, oh, my kid's been kidnapped, knowing they done sold their kids online for some money. You see people getting caught like that all the time, man, where, parents get caught at Walmart trying to sell their kid for $500, man. That shit still goes on today. And what is it for? It's for the adrenal comb. It's for them to have the sex slaves, man. All this stuff still goes on today. Like the Lord says, nothing new under the sun. The same thing they was doing now back in the day, sacrificing kids and all this stuff, they still doing it now, man. Christmas and all these other holidays were set up to deceive us, to keep us away from the Lord, man. This is their holidays. This is the Greek and Roman and Catholic holidays. If you do your research about over there, the Romans and the Greeks and Athenians, man, they some boy lovers, boy philosophers, boy lovers, whatever you want to call them. But they don't like women and they like little boys and they some homosexuals, they some faggots, man. Let's keep going. Let's get back to the video.
So running through this, right? Running through this. Here's a actual painting of the Roman Saturnalia Day, so I'm not making this stuff up. And here's actual Greek paintings. You see the little boy sitting on this grown man's lap, so I'm not making this up. These are actually off of artifacts that are in museums. And so the reason I have this Baphomet next to the Christmas tree and the 5-point star, which you see on Baphomet's head, is because this is symbolic to Lucifer. The god of Freemasonry is Lucifer, and these are the people who made this holiday up. So the light at the top of the tree is symbolic to Lucifer, because they say Lucifer is the beholder of light. That's why you see the torch on top of Baphomet's head. And so continuing through, as innocent as this looks, and as much as we love this is ritualistic too, even down to the logs. These logs are called Yule logs, and these logs were symbolic to sacrifice, where for 12 days they would actually burn children and sacrifice them by fire. So this is why they tell you on Christmas you should save a piece of your log and take it to next year. And so continuing through, even the mistletoe, right? The etymological roots of the word mistletoe is poop on a stick.
Man.
And I don't really want to go into that. I don't want to offend anybody, but I believe this Greek depiction of two men, I believe it's self-explanatory. So even kissing under the mistletoe and things like that, they have their roots. And so flipping through, right, getting through this as fast as possible, right? Here's that Yule log I was telling you about and its pagan roots. Continuing through, even Merry Christmas, right? As innocent as this sounds, and we want to say, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry means to be cheerful or happy. Mass or mass is a sacrifice. See, in religious usage means death or sacrifice. So when we tell somebody Merry Christmas, Christ is your consciousness. They're telling you happy sacrificing yourself. So continuing on as we get to the end, Old Nick, as you can see in the Merriam and Webster's dictionary, Old Nick is another word for devil or Satan or Lucifer. So when you call Old Saint Nick, or that Santa Claus we just seen walk by, Old Saint Nick, you're really saying Lucifer or Satan. So this came about because when the Catholic Church wanted to bring that Krampus, celebration over here, they couldn't just introduce it to people like me and you the way that we just seen it. So they had to gloss it up, pretty it up, and remix it. So instead of it being a horned demon, aka Lucifer, that steals children, it's an innocent old man who gives presents and gifts.
Yo, man. It's set up to deceive us. Stop celebrating Christmas, man. Stop celebrating these holidays. The Lord does not deal with this, man. He is not of this, man. Let's keep going, man. Let's get another precept. Let's go to Amos 5:21. And the Lord says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assemblies. Though ye have offered me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, man. The Lord don't want to hear this stuff, man. And let's look at this stuff. It says, I despise your feast days. Let's look at what that mean. If you read it in an NIV version, it says, I hate and I despise your religious festivals. Your religious festivals. Do you look deeper and you not Google more? Like, what is the religious, man? So let's look at some religious holidays. And let's look at what is that? Good Friday, Easter, of course. What else is on here? Islamic New Year's, man. We're not supposed to celebrate these days, man. We're not supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas. We're not supposed to celebrate Easter. We're not supposed to celebrate New Year's. We're not supposed to celebrate Mother's Day, Father's Day, Martin Luther King Day, your birthday, Christopher Columbus Day. Any holiday that the white man set up for us, the so-called white man set up for us, is not a holiday that we supposed to deal with, man. We're not supposed to celebrate it. As you can hear the dude said, everything was dressed up to make it seem like it's okay, to make it seem like it's safe and innocent. But in all reality, it's going the fuck off, man. Stop celebrating Christmas. Stop celebrating Easter. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what the Lord did this year? The Lord put a cold ass winter on y'all ass this year. Thank the Lord for that. A lot of people couldn't come see their family because of the weather and the traveling was pushed back. A lot of people couldn't get their gifts on time because of the weather and all that stuff was pushed back as well, right? That was all the Lord doing, man. Because he does not celebrate this shit. He is not dealing with these people, man. And let's go back to it. And just like he said, take away from me the noise of thy songs. And man, I'm telling you, after Thanksgiving, every time you walk into a grocery store, all you hear is Christmas music. You see people, in front of stores singing and shaking that little bell and all that bullshit, man. It's bullshit, man. The Lord is not dealing with it. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't like it. He don't want your sacrifices. He don't want to hear your prayers. He is not dealing with anything that has nothing to do with him. If it has nothing to do with him, he don't give a damn about it. We ain't supposed to be celebrating it. You know what I'm saying? I know we celebrate the Passover. I know we do the Sabbath. We do Hanukkah. I know we did Hanukkah this year. Thank the Lord. This is my first time ever doing it ever. What else? This is it, man. I think it's a couple other days that we're supposed to keep holy and stuff, the holy days. But this right here, man, we're not supposed to celebrate it, man. The Lord is not with all of the stuff that's going on. He's not with the presents. He's not with the Christmas trees. He's not with none of that. Let's get another precept. Hold on, wait. Let's finish the video. Let's get to the video. Then to give you one more precept.
Gives to children in the middle of the night while you're not up doing whatever God knows what with your children. Exactly. So even holiday, right? Holiday, when you etymologically break it down, goes into holy day. Holy is what? A day denoted to a God. They didn't specifically say what God. And then day is a procession of time with an existence. And so holiday season is the day denoted to the God of Freemasonry, which actually is Lucifer. So continuing on, because I want to rush through this. This is Fortnite. I don't know if you play Fortnite, but the reason I put this in here is because I play Fortnite. Games, so the reason I put this in here is,
it's like I said, it's all set up to deceive. That's part of their crafty counsel, Psalms 83. It's part of their crafty counsel they create. They dressing it all up, like you said, giving it different names, but everything has an evil, demonic, twisted meaning behind it, man. It's so crazy how I knew Christmas was bullshit, but after I watched this video, I never realized how much wickedness bullshit is in Christmas, man, and it just pisses me off. It's very disgusting.
Show you, even Fortnite knows. This is from last year when you were able to buy that Krampus skin, and it was around Christmas. So this was just to show you that even the makers of Fortnite are aware of who the original Santa Claus deity was and what Christmas was about. Typoglypsia is the ability of the human brain to understand words, even if the first letter or the last letter is misplaced. For example, the word words, if you take the S off the back and put it in the front, it spells swords. I don't know if you're religious or not, but that's why in the Bible it says the tongue is mightier than the sword. And so when you take Santa and you put the N on the back, it spells Satan. And so keeping it moving here, even when I skipped the page. Keeping it moving, this was the original Santa Claus, and you see him dragging all of the kids off to hell. And this was in what you would call some people believe hell is under the ground.
That too. Like I said, hell is the grave. That's the pit. We ain't here, and that's right here, right now. We in hell right now, man. Hell is not under the ground, man. That's more Roman, Greek bullshit that goes along with Christmas and all these other family holidays. These fake ass Jews, man. It's mind blowing, man. It's crazy.
So they just remixed that and they turned Krampus into Santa, or Satan into Santa, and now he takes the kids to the North Pole and gives them gifts. And so this is where the elves come from, and Santa's little helpers and all of these people that are in the North Pole. They're really abducted kids. Here's another actual painting of Krampus taking these kids to hell. And so they couldn't bring that to us over here, and they just turned it into Santa Claus, giving gifts and being cheerful and being gleeful. And so as we come to the end of this, here's just more imagery proving the information I'm giving you. Here's another picture of Krampus stuffing these kids in the bag, and then here's an image of Santa Claus giving kids gifts out of the bag. And so as we come to the end of this, right? I don't know if you're religious or not, and I won't hold you guys up too longer. But the reason that I'm doing these public interviews is because
This is why Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people. We can't be following the ways of the land, man. Let's go to Jeremiah 10:2. Last scripture says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You know what I'm saying? We cannot be dismayed. We cannot, learn not, we cannot follow these ways, man. Once we came into this truth, we dropped all of it. We dropped Easter, we dropped the birthdays, we dropped Christmas, we dropped Thanksgiving. Some people still doing, they trying to find ways around it. But you know what I'm saying? Even with Halloween, man, all this stuff is pigment man-made holidays, man. We are not supposed to follow the ways of the heathen. We are supposed to follow Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, and the ways of this Bible, and how the Bible is supposed to teach us, not the ways of the world. We are not supposed to follow the ways of the world and of the heathens of this world, man. Period, man. We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, Easter, none of that shit. All these abominable foods that they put up in front of us, man, for these days, man. You put a big ass hand for Thanksgiving. You got all this extra shit, these Christmas trees and light bulbs and everything. All this stuff on your Christmas tree. Let's see what the Lord say. For the customs of the people are vain, man. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and the work of the hands of a workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not. It moves not because it's an idol. It's not real. It has no air. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. They can't walk. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is there any good in them. These idols, man, that y'all, every time you put a Christmas tree up and put the light bulbs on there, man, it's a form of idol worship. Every time you say Merry Christmas or Oh Saint Nigger, like he said, talk about Santa, it's a form of idol worship. Even with Easter, that big ass bunny rabbit, it's a form of idol worship. Thanksgiving, you celebrate that shit. It's a form of idol worship, because people still celebrate Thanksgiving, put all the pilgrims, the white pilgrims and the white Indians and all that bull Native Americans up, man. It's all idol worship, man. If it has nothing to do with the Lord or serving the Lord or praying to the Lord, it's idol worship. Point blank period, no matter how the hell you put it. It's idol worship. Putting up that tree, like I said, it's idol worship. Putting up the Christmas wreaths, putting up the stockings, it's all part of idol worship, man. Point blank period, hands down. If it has, it's just crazy. We cannot learn the ways of the heathen. We have to come out of this, because this is why we went off, man. This is why the Lord punishes us, because we want to be out having fun with the white people. We want to be out there doing that shit like they doing. But the Lord specifically said, learn not the ways of the heathen. We are more righteous than them. We are more holy than them. We are a chosen people, a particular people. We are the chosen generation. We should be meddling with these people, man. We should be meddling with these holidays and what the hell they got going on. As you can see how evil and demonic that shit was. A whole bunch of pedophilia and a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of deceit. Man, I can't, I don't even know. Yeah, I would never, ever in my life, ever in my life, I didn't celebrate last year. I ain't celebrate this year. Ever since I came into the truth, I have not done anything on Christmas, Easter, none of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And y'all should do the same. Move around, move way different than how y'all did. When you come into the truth, your mind, everything has to change. You got to come out of this world, man. Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people. Let's go to that real quick. What I'm talking about, I'm sorry. 18:4. And it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye may not receive her plagues. All these people that's taking part of Christmas today, man, when the Lord come back, he gonna fire their ass up. Hell, even within a time, he gonna take their hand off of them. He gonna release the death angels. A lot of people gonna get killed within the next couple of days, man. A lot of people already died this week because of how cold it is. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible, man. You celebrate these holidays, man. Be prepared for death. Period. You go off on the Lord, man. You stay into this world. Be prepared for death, man. We cannot celebrate these holidays. We're not supposed to. It's not of us. It's not of the Lord. It's not of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Every holiday if that's not of the Lord, is idol worship. It's a pigment holiday. It's a Roman Catholic Idumea bullshit. Period. So I truly hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.